Welcome back to the Have Not Room. I am Ben here with Chad and Brian to talk about week 6 of Big Brother 27. And what a week, what an episode, what an eviction. Rachel motherfucking Riley wins an HOH in 2025. And we get, as we deserve, an incredible week of Big Brother.
Yeah, what a ride. I didn't think that we would get this outcome. I'm shocked. I was like, Chad and I were talking about it before. Ben's so plugged in to the live feeds. That's, you weren't confident. So
this
we were both like, Ben doesn't think it's happening. It's not happening.
When the feeds went down, Vince and Ava were leaning voting out Morgan. I believe this flipped during the 3 minutes of strategizing. I really think it flipped. You could tell. So they had been talking for yesterday into today, and neither of them really want to make a decision. That's kind of how Vince and Ava are. Right. It's literally the two out of the top 3 most indecisive people in the house being put in the swing vote position. Pretty insane outcome for the week.
And the other most indecisive person won the veto.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. So really, so many decisions by people who don't like making decisions had to go a very specific way for us to get this, specific outcome. But they had talked. They both agreed that Mickey would go home in either scenario. If Mickey lost this blockbuster, she was going home probably pretty close to unanimously. But they were so, unable to make a hard decision about Morgan versus Riley. And it got to the point where they basically said, they would just wait until the outcome happened because, hey, 2 out of 3 chance, we don't even have to care about this outcome. So, let's not even make a decision until we have to. And I really do not think they made a decision until Julie announced to them that Mickey won the blockbuster.
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah, that's super fun. I mean, I love it when we have people in the diary room on eviction night, just fighting and unsure of what they're going to do. Oh man, when Big Brother's good, it's the best.
Yeah. No, I think I put a post out. I just put a post out right now that was basically this season feels like a biblical challenge from Julie, and Julie and God conspired to make this season to put the Big Brother fans through a Job-like kind of situation where they have to live through watching the stupidest and most unlikable people to ever grace the Big Brother house. But we do it for moments like this of satisfaction and catharsis. So this was so incredible.
It really was. And I mean, what were Ava and Vince on the fence? Well, I guess kind of walk us through their thought process that led to those fun moments where they're both just I'm voting for Riley.
Yeah, I think that at a high level, both of them are very cowardly players. They're both, Vince in particular, and Vince is a very active cowardly player, whereas Ava is very passive. But both of them have seen a good amount of success in the game, up until this point, and even at this point right now, they are probably 2 of the best positioned players to potentially still win the season. And making this move, I think, put them in that spot. So it's good that they ended up making this decision because I think it was best for their games. But Vince, obviously, as we saw, has 4,000 final 2s. He has a final 2 with Riley and with Lauren, who is with Riley and Catherine and wanted Riley to stay in this scenario. And he has talked over and over again with Lauren in the last few days about trying to basically coerce her into saving Morgan over Riley and letting Riley go. But she hasn't really bid on that. And obviously she just saved him with the veto. So there's that also biting at the back of his head. Hey, she just saved him with me with the veto. And now I'm contemplating making this vote against what she wants behind her back, basically. So that's one piece of it. And then from Ava's perspective, and then also Vince's to a degree, they are looking at basically these two sides of the house that have formed since the Judges Alliance was created. So we have like the Judges Alliance, plus like Mickey kind of as a tag along that they're just going to use and discard when they get the chance. And then Ava also kind of like loosely aligned with that group because she's close to Will, she's close to Rachel. And then you have this alliance that Kelly has been forming on the other side that Keanu tried to form. And then Kelly was like, actually, let's make this alliance exactly how Keanu wanted, but like not actually really include him. And so that would be Kelly, Riley, Kat, Lauren, and Vince. And Kelly wanted the sixth to be Ava instead of Keanu. So Keanu is in neither alliance, and Ava is kind of loosely in both. But Keanu thinks that he's with the Riley and Kat side, but they don't like him, and Kelly doesn't like him, and like nobody likes Keanu, right? The only person in the house who ever liked Keanu was Rachel, which is, So Vince is looking at these two groups of people, and he's like, which of these groups of people can win competitions? And I think that when you have Kelly, Riley, Kat, even potentially Keanu, if like he's like, suckling onto that group on one side, that feels like the more dangerous side in terms of competition wins. They have like the bulk of the comp. Those four as a combined total have like something like 70% of the comp wins for the season. So he's like, I want to save Morgan, but if I do that and I blindside all of these people and Riley goes home, then they're all going to be pissed at me because I was a swing vote and they're the ones that can win comps. That was like the main fulcrum of the decision. And Ava also, to a degree, Ava is basically trying to play the game, pissing off as few people as possible that could put her on the block. She saw, in particular, Mickey as being somebody that would put her on the block, even though she wouldn't. And she saw Riley as somebody that would protect her, even though he wouldn't. And so I think that kind of is what it boils down to. They were like very afraid of scorning the side that they thought was going to be better in competitions.
I think it makes sense. We're at the final 10 now, right? So,
11.
We're at the final 11.
Yep.
Right. So that's what, for how many people vote next week? 6?
8.
8. Man, I'm way off.
9 people voted tonight, and then 8 people plus, potentially a tiebreaker HOH.
So it's going to come down to this wall. This is big. And Morgan, you've been talking about how much you want the wall all season. Here it is.
Yep.
Go out there and win it.
They just saved you. They all went on. They all took a huge social hit potentially to save Morgan. This is their chance to prove her worth this new alliance.
I think she can do it.
For sure.
Athletic enough and like a great body type to win the wall.
Yeah. No, she's tall, thin, and strong. Like it's like the perfect kind of like body type for the wall.
Yeah. So we'll see. Do we know if it will be on feeds
today? It will be on feeds, but I think they're still recording. I think they're recording BB Unlocked right now, and they have to do some cleanup from the eviction and from the Blockbuster. That's one of the bad things about the Blockbuster is, they have teardown that they have to do so that we can get the feeds back on. Mm-hmm. The feeds, normally before the Blockbuster, would turn on almost immediately after eviction episodes. Mm-hmm. Not the case. So this season they've been waiting until 2 to 3 a.m. Eastern time before the feeds come back. That's because they would play the HOH comp off of feeds and then turn them on. And often they would have hours in between for no particular reason. So if I had to guess, I would say probably feeds come back on somewhere in the 11 to 12 p.m. Eastern range. So I have them on my side.
That'll be perfect for us. As people recording this episode and then me editing this episode and the clips. Yes. Great. That sounds awesome. I can finish up and then watch the wall hopefully last a decent amount of time.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, as Taylor pointed out, it only lasted a little less than an hour for her. And similarly for the last 2 seasons as well, it lasted about, I would say, an hour. So
too much gunk. Too much slime and all that being thrown at these house guests to stay up for that long. We need do you remember BB18 where they just kind of did the Survivor competition where they like hold their hands. We need that. That like lasted all night.
Yeah, no, they did a similar one. That was a comp they did often as well in the early seasons of Big Brother. They often would do that like either like mid to late jury or like even as a part one of a final HOH. So yeah, I mean, look, Australian Survivor has made me want these more kind of like, you know, intense physical challenges. Like I very much enjoyed them so far. So like I'm excited to watch The Wall, and hopefully we get a good outcome.
We want to run through like, let's say someone from the not, you know, winning side from tonight wins the HOH. What do you think will happen?
So like say like a Cat or like a Lauren wins.
Yeah, say Lauren wins.
Say Lauren wins. Okay, if Lauren wins, well, this is tricky, right? Because we don't know how they are reacting to Vince basically blindsiding and betraying them. We don't know if Vince is going to be able to do damage control and get his name off of the board. But if I were to guess what like a Lauren or a Cat would do, it's probably some combination of like Rachel, Ashley, Will, Morgan. Like that's my guess, right? Like I think that like they and this is also kind of why I think that Ava and Vince shouldn't have been as scared as they were of making this play, because when you're the swing vote, even if you like vote against people, like they still are now down in the numbers. They need swing votes, and like you are still going to be looked at as a potential swing vote to change your mind and swing back. Like it's always going to be wrong for people who are in the minority to target the swings, even if they just blindsided and backstabbed you, because they're still probably the most likely people that you can pull back. So it's like if you're a swing vote, you really need to just full commit to whatever is best for your game and not worry about pissing people off. But yeah, I would expect Rachel and Ashley on the block for sure, and then the third would be either Morgan or Will. Like at this point, the sides are like, for the first time in the season, the sides are pretty firm, I would say. Like we have like the judges group plus like kind of Ava, and then we have this like Kelly alliance plus kind of Keanu, and then like Vince had been riding the middle, but he picked a side.
Right. All right. So what about the inverse of that?
Right.
What happens if Rachel's side, the judges, wins tonight?
Yeah, I think pretty much everyone on that side puts up Kelly, Keanu, Lauren. I think Kat stays off the block in most circumstances. The only person on that side who had any kind of fealty to Keanu at all was Rachel, and she can't play. And I think Rachel at this point has probably given up on Keanu, but she's given up on Keanu before. So I do think that would be the three noms. It would be Lauren, Kelly, Keanu.
Yeah, and who do you think like the primary target of the judges would be?
Well, Morgan in particular has talked about wanting to take out Lauren for a while, for like the last week or so. But I think probably if Keanu's on the block at the end of the week, you have to take that shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Keanu's right back to having to win.
I mean, this is his own fault. This is one fact. Like he played this week pretty much as badly as you could. Like he had been on the rise. And he could have been in a really good position if he just like believed true things that were being told to him by, in particular, Rachel. But he's just, I guess, incapable of like hearing information that's like blindly true and like believing it. Even in this eviction episode, we saw, and this was when I was like, wait, hold on, maybe Riley actually is going to go home. This is like the first like click in my brain was like, oh no, wait, what's going on? Was Vince pulling Keanu aside right before they vote and telling him the correct information that Rachel has also told him, that Riley is not on his side and wants to target him, right? Like if Riley stayed this week, if it was like a 7-2 vote or something, and Riley stayed, and Riley won HOH, he's putting up Rachel, Ashley, and Keanu. Like he is like, this is like completely ridiculous that Keanu has just lit his like the small amount of his game that was left on fire for Riley, and then he doesn't even stay. Like it's indefensible. But like, I mean, this whole season is people making indefensible plays and getting themselves voted out. So if Keanu leaves us this week, it 100,000% his own fault.
Yeah, chat. I mean, he's your winner pick. How's it been watching Keanu like just completely refuse Rachel's, like every time she puts her hand out for him, he just slaps it down? How's that been for you as someone who's I'm guessing rooting for him, but maybe by now only rooting for him because you made him your winner pick?
I mean, I'm rooting for him purely because he is my winner pick, and I do enjoy the like underdog, absolute bottom of the house storyline. Like everyone's against him, but he's also just. I mean, he even told Rachel himself he has like terrible reads, and
Yep.
at this point, every week I'm just like, I hope it's anyone besides Keanu. I don't even care if it's like someone he really needs. Like if anyone but Keanu is, I think, what Keanu fans are hoping for. But I mean, he's pretty popular in all like the Twitter polls and everything I've seen. He's like one of the most popular house gets in the house. I don't know why. Probably because he is like that underdog. But yeah, it's just his reads are like. If he just did the exact opposite of everything he thinks, he'd be like the best player.
He used to be like George Costanza in that episode of Seinfeld, where if he just went past his impulses, he would be incredibly successful.
Yep.
It's a roller coaster, but I can always count on him to make the wrong read and just pray to God that he's somehow comes out unscathed.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny to have him in the diary room being like, Rachel, is a legend. I really have this opportunity to learn from her. And then just at every turn, just being like, I'm not going to listen to Rachel. Like, what?
Rachel, I love you, but you're wrong. Right after Rachel told him Belinda was right.
Right. Yeah. In response to Rachel saying something correct every time. Yeah. It's just so crazy. Like, I think last week I talked about it. Like, the very first thing I saw on feeds was Rachel trying to convince Keanu of something that was the truth and him not buying it. And then that's just been every interaction they've had since then. It's crazy. We're week 6 going into week 7. It's just, they can't get on the same page because of him.
I mean, you think after literally a month and a half, almost 2 months of being in the house and like kind of realizing that all your reads are wrong, that maybe just like, you know what, screw it. Maybe they're right. I'm just going to trust them from now on. But here we are.
Nope.
I don't think Keanu has that like level of like self-reflection. I'll be real.
It's just sad, but I don't know. I don't even know what I'm hoping for. I'm just hoping he makes it to the jury at this point.
Hey, look, all 3 of our winner picks are still in. Like they're all still here. This season has been a roller coaster from start to finish so far, and they're all still here.
Yeah, I think we're officially past the point where it's like, oh, that's embarrassing. I made them my winner pick in terms of like them going out, early. We're officially at the point where it's like, all right, well, they hung in there. It's fine. I think this is about where Joseph went out last season, right? So like this, I'm hoping to improve on that at least.
I mean, you guys are probably going to go further than I am purely because my winner pick's a male. In this
it's a bad season for the guys.
That's a good point. So I didn't even think about that. That's 5 straight guys now?
Well, no, it was 1-1-4, right? But like 5 out of the 6 evictions have been men, and we are now left with 8 women and 3 men in the house. The only men left in the house are Keanu, Will, and Vince.
Oh, God. That's crazy.
And every single woman who started this game except for Amy is still there.
Yeah, poor Amy. Being the accomplice, I guess, really. Yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe that's the thing, right? Like she was like co-playing the game with the mastermind, and the mastermind is a man, so I thought we brought her down.
Yeah, so we haven't gotten the game mastermind since she got eliminated, right?
I got to assume that whatever thing they're revealing on Sunday might have to do with it, or maybe we're just doing the get ready for a takeover where like we just pretended it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I think. Do you think Gronk was the mastermind?
Well, it's
The
like
last one to do the
intern Andrew
takeover?
or whatever.
Yeah. Um, no, like they didn't even work him in to be the killer on the phone during the HOH competition, which would have been like, at least it would have made sense, right?
Yeah, they keep on making up new villains and
Yeah.
like forgetting about the big bad that they set up in episode 1.
That was like the riff on the Stranger Things Demigorgon they did a couple seasons
Yeah,
ago.
the Nether Gorgon.
The Nether Gordon.
Yeah,
Maybe he'll
with the
show
nether
up.
regions.
I'm more confident that he'll show up than the mastermind at this point.
Yeah. Well, the comp they just did that Rachel won was like a spin on what the Nether Gorgon competition they did in Big Brother 25.
Right.
So.
You're right. Yeah, it was the competition. And that's just so crazy to me that they were like, we have this competition with a killer, and they weren't like, it's the mastermind on the phone. It was just like, it's Ghostface, but not Ghostface because we can't actually have it be Ghostface. Even though Paramount makes the Scream movies,
movie.
they could have just done a Scream themed comp, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Isn't there another one coming out soon anyway? Like, isn't like Scream
there is?
6?
Yeah, there's one at least in production. So
I mean, it's writing itself. Like
you think
Yeah.
there's sometimes Big Brother just misses the forest for the trees.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess we could like talk about like it feels like the start of this week was like ages ago. Like it feels like this week has been like a month. So we talked last week about how Rachel's like one of Rachel or her allies, but pretty much just Rachel needed to win this last HOH. Otherwise, like the season was going to quickly fall apart into like Rachel probably would go out pre-jury, and then like this kind of coalescing around the like Riley, Kat, Lauren of the world would happen, and she did, and she puts up correctly Vince, Mickey, and Morgan, and. Wow, I would not have expected at the beginning of the week to be happy that Mickey, Morgan, and Vince are all still here.
Yeah, no, I mean it has been a ride with Alliance falling apart, coming back together. Now Vince, after really not being with Rachel all season, and now in this pivotal moment, is with her. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, another ironic thing for Keanu, given that he's spent the last 2 or so weeks trying to mend Vince and Rachel's relationship so that he can have an alliance with both of them.
Yeah,
and then
they make one without him.
Yeah, only for them to make an alliance without him and vote against what he wanted this week and blindside him.
Poor Keanu.
What an incredible storyline. I wish we'd gotten more of that in some of the story, but like they never really touched on the Unexpendables alliance, and they never really touched on like Keanu's escapades beyond like a few of these like frenemies kind of sessions that they've done. They didn't really go into like Keanu makes a 6-person alliance that kicks him out of it. So yeah, maybe they'll get into that in the Sunday episode, but yeah, what a wild ride that we've gotten just to get Vince and Rachel on the same page. And yeah, now that he's chosen the side, I guess like what are we kind of hoping happens from here on out? Like I guess like where are Vincent and Morgan's like play gonna go? Because like presumably Mickey gets like somewhat folded into this group, but like they all still don't like her at this point, and they basically only kept her because she won the blockbuster, and she kind of has nobody because she did vote out Riley. So like I'm kind of very curious like where Mickey really falls and whether like she's able to like weasel her way back into something, or whether actually, you know what, I think it would be interesting if a Kat or a Lauren win the HOH, if they can potentially push Mickey onto the block and blame her a little bit for this. Like that, I think that's like the only play that side has.
Yeah, I wonder like if she realizes what kind of got her in trouble in the first place and if she's able to adjust. I don't think I've seen a ton of like self-reflection from her,
Mhm.
in
No,
either
no,
the
it's
feeds
not her
or
vocabulary.
yeah. So it's like I don't know if she's gonna realize like how close this was to being over.
Mm.
Yeah, and I don't know who would be the one to tell her, right? Because like
Right.
it's kind of in no one's best interest to tell her that she would have been voted out. But I'm sure somebody will because that's how this season has been going. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Mickey, because like I've basically for the last few days been just like mentally writing Mickey off as a player because I assumed that she was going to get voted out tonight. And I have no idea, like literally zero idea what she would do if she won this HOH. Like presumably it's similar to like what Morgan and Vince would do. But I think Vince is like throwing this comp for sure. So
Right.
like with her voting out Riley, you would expect her to fold back in with Morgan a little bit, at least as a number, and target the Katz and Laurens and Kelly and Keanu's of the world. But like, I don't know if that's like actually what she would do. I don't know if she would make like the Kelly, Keanu, Lauren noms. So that could be interesting. I don't know. Not that I want Mickey to win HOH, but like it's definitely like the only outcome where I legitimately have no clue what the hell they would do.
Yeah, it'd be really interesting, given everything that has gone on this week. But I think, I just want to address because I forgot to mention at the top of the show, real bad job not showing us Mickey's shot that won her the competition. And in the same token, insanely horrible job by Riley to lock in a lower score than Mickey.
Yeah, I do think that we don't know what the timing was on when Morgan locked in because I think it might have been right around or like basically like right exactly when Mickey got her number, or like maybe Morgan didn't see. But like Riley was, Riley was standing there for like a solid like 30 to 45 seconds after getting the 29 and not locking it in, and he sees both of the women lock in a tied / higher number than him. There's still a minute left on the clock, and he's like, "Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to concede instead of trying to win."
Crazy.
So
and like, even like Julie didn't say anything. I think production was like, "Wait, what? Why did he do that?" And then they're like,
yeah.
"Oh, shit. Okay, congrats, Mickey."
I mean, he literally had over half of the time of the comp to do it. Like, there's a minute and 1 second left when they all locked in.
Yep.
I was like, I would have been.
I don't hate that he got a 29 and was watching, but like, what?
No, watching is smart, right? Because like you should be like kind of hovering near the button, and then if you see somebody get a higher score, you can then keep going. And if it's getting down towards the wire and nobody's getting a higher score, then you can lock in before somebody else races. But like he didn't even do that. Like
right.
Like so like he it's like he got like halfway to the correct strategy and then he threw.
Crazy, man. Is it like underrated element of Riley getting voted off was him like messing that up so badly?
Yeah.
He could have. I mean, I'm not saying he could have easily won, but he definitely like could have had a shot.
Yeah, no,
38 was going to be hard to beat, but like,
yeah, but you still had a minute left, and I mean, either way, you're on the block. Even if you don't lock it, like either way, you're there. So fuck it. I mean, I would have went to the end.
29 is no different in that.
Yeah,
really weird. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I'm not gonna miss him. So
yeah,
I was fine with it.
Yeah. Speaking of Riley getting himself evicted here, something that wasn't really shown on the episode because the story was mostly about like Lauren's indecision and her waiting until literally minutes before the ceremony to confirm with Rachel that she was using the veto. And then like the moisturizer running down, Rachel chasing her, them going back up, her trying to confer with Vince in secret without Rachel knowing. I understand, like that was like a very like well edited like sequence there of like Lauren's experience being a veto holder. But something that wasn't shown, we saw like the one moment of Kat being like, "Hey, Lauren, don't use the veto." But like that was like Kat had been pushing for a while, and like they had longer conversations where Kat pushed Lauren to not use the veto, specifically because of a potential outcome like this, like Riley or Kat going up. And like, also Kat, I think correctly realized that any change for the nominees, even if it is like Kelly that goes up on the block, could mean that they potentially lose a number, even with Kelly. Like Kelly is a number for them, and they are not getting Mickey out, who was their target for the week of the people on the block. Whereas if the nom stayed the same and Mickey didn't win the blockbuster against Morgan and Vince, Mickey was going home, and Vince was going to be safe against Morgan, presumably. So Kat was pushing Lauren like, "Hey, Vince is safe no matter what. This configuration is really good for us because that means Mickey is safe, or Mickey is for sure gone. I mean, and so you shouldn't use the veto." And Riley was one of the main people pushing Lauren to use the veto so that Rachel would have to show her cards and expose more of her game to people. So yeah.
Hey, for someone who is like really threatening to win this game, not a particularly great Big Brother player.
Yes, that's Big Brother 27 for you. Every week you think that somebody's in a position to stomp to the end and win, and then they end up finding a way to get themselves evicted.
Yeah, and like I can't remember which YouTuber it was. Maybe Ethanimal. He did someone did it could have been Podium too. Did like the contender video like they always do, and straight up was like there's no contenders to win. Let me find that one.
Yeah, no, I mean I saw a comment on Reddit, which is like, I cannot stand the Big Brother Reddit. I hate it. It's like 90% people who like don't even follow what's going on in the house at all, and like the vast majority of people on that subreddit just simply don't understand how the game works. But there was this comment as an example where like they were like, oh, somebody posted like, who are the top 5 people who are like likely to win this game at this point, and like Lauren was kind of like in a lot of people's 3 to 5 range. And then someone was like, man, after everyone was shitting on Lauren for how bad her HOH was, you all seem to think that she has the potential to win the season. It's like, yeah, motherfucker, everyone in the season sucks. Like, everyone in the season has had a Lauren's HOH level of bad gameplay. Like,
yeah, it was Podium, by the way, who made it. So shout out to him. He doesn't need our shout out, but to give proper credit.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a really great YouTuber. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's just like so crazy how sloppy this season has been. I mean, you know what? We needed Rachel to like kind of bring it back,
100%. She said she was going to blow up the house, and that she was in a position where she had to. I think a lot of people were very critical of the Riley renom because it was like extremely high risk in a position where like everyone was like, hey, you could just kind of play it a little safe, put Kelly up. Kelly going is fine for her. Mickey going is fine for her. But like that, even if Mickey or Kelly go, she's in a position where she doesn't have the numbers headed into next week. Like she needed a situation where she could pull in Vince and Morgan as numbers, at least in the short term and in the interim, for her to like have some kind of control in the house. And she needed to take out Riley, who was like quickly becoming a huge potential long-term social threat. Like this was basically her making a Hail Mary, and she pulled it off. Like it's like really, really, really impressive that she like had the wherewithal to make this play, and it actually pays out, and Riley ends up going, and she forms the alliance she needed to form. Like literally, like so many things had to go perfectly right for her for this HOH to play out the way that it did, and for her to be in like a still pretty decent position, even though she is in danger given a handful of outcomes.
Yeah, but she probably would have been.
No, 100%. No. Yeah, there was no way for her to not be in at least a little bit of danger next week. But like Riley is way more likely to win a wall comp than Kat. or even Kelly. Like I think Lauren probably has a decent shot. But like Riley is like the perfect build. He's like 6'5", like 155 pounds, like soaking wet. And he's like a professional athlete whose entire enterprise is hanging on to a moving thing as it tries to bump him off.
That's such a good point. Yeah.
Like if you're like building a person to win the wall comp, like it's going to be like a Riley, right? Like, so with him off the board, Rachel and her allies are way, way more likely to win. And again, she pulled in Morgan, who is also one of the more likely people to win. And, Morgan is not going to target Rachel or any of her friends. So just an absolute win-win-win across the board for Rachel.
Yeah. And he gets to meet his daughter now. So cheap shot maybe, but all right, we got ours in the chat. Cowboy Carter is bull circus rider. He would smoke the Spider-Man wall. I agreed. Yeah, he would have done well. So we'll see what happens now. But yeah, I mean, anything else from this week that you guys wanted to cover that we haven't?
I guess what are your guys' thoughts on Lauren? Because I think we have this OTEV comp where for the second year in a row, the comp doesn't fully play out every single round. We had 3 people eliminated by getting an answer. Well, I guess technically 4 if you count Will. The only person eliminated on the
musical
chairs aspect of it was Vince.
Yeah.
Will gets the first question wrong, and then Morgan, Mickey, and Rachel all get the third question wrong. And Lauren wins by having a memory of the very basic events that have happened in the house. So yeah, what are your thoughts on Lauren? Like obviously she has to win this because she correctly reads that she is the winner if any of the nominees win. Mickey tries to get her to throw it in the middle of the competition. Lauren basically is like, why would I do that? That makes no sense. Yeah. But yeah, what do you guys thought on Lauren as a player? Because I go back and forth on Lauren. I am annoyed by her as a player, but I don't hate her. I don't have a visceral I have basically no feelings on her other than marginal annoyance when she falls into power.
Yeah, well, I was thinking yesterday. Wow, I didn't remember what her voice sounded like when she was doing the confessionals.
Mm-hmm.
I think if she wants to start playing Big Brother, she could potentially be a good player because she seems to be in an okay spot, and she's not. Even if the judges' side wins power this week, they're not chomping at the bit to get her out, right?
Yeah, I think that the Morgan was, but the group as a whole would probably target Keanu first and then Kelly second, just off the basis of annoyance combined with comp skills.
So I think she has some potential. I just wish she would be a more active participant. And you know what? The one thing I am hoping that even Ava's HOH last week, which was more risky than other people's, and now Rachel's HOH this week, it kind of shakes some of these players awake. It's okay, we're for real playing Big Brother now. Let's actually try here.
I mean, she's the ultimate floater in a way because she's so in the background that if her strategy is just to make it to jury and keep going as far as she can without really shaking anyone or pissing anyone off, which seems to be a theme this season, she's doing a better job than anyone. But at some point, she does have to start playing and have to start making some alliances and maybe win a comp here or there and getting people that she needs out for her game out. But right now, she's such a non-factor in, I think, really anyone's game other than one vote for the other side of the house. But I don't know. She's just so not in the game. I mean, this week was the first in 2 weeks where she even had a diary room session. like aired on TV.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of gave away potentially to people who don't know the feed spoilers. Like, they suddenly see Lauren DR. It's like, who the hell is this? And then she's talking about how important it is with the veto, and they're like, very very transparent that she's the one is gonna win it when it's the first time since her HOH week that she's even been on the screen.
Yeah, I really loved when she won. Someone commented like "new player" like, on the feed stuff, so very fun. But yeah, we talked about it earlier, but in the comments, don't forget this is the least amount of male house guests in the history of the game. Yeah, I mean it's crazy how the gender split has gone this season, and I mean, if Keanu goes this week, just continues.
Yep. 100%. Like, I mean, like this also is, I think, a lot of the bill being paid on the run of male winners, especially like dominant challenge forming male winners that we've had in the last like 5 to 10 seasons of Big Brother. Like it's almost impressive that it took this long for like obviously men aren't being targeted explicitly on the basis of being men. Like it's almost kind of just a coincidence that this has happened so far, more so. But like there is still like an undercurrent of like we need to get out comp threats ASAP. And despite like the fact that the comps are more balanced and women are winning, an equal share of the comps, there's still an implicit, impression that men are going to be more likely to win the comps just based off of the history of the show that has been established. So I think that like we've finally gotten to the season where like everyone's like, oh shit. We can't let like a Jag get to the final 9/8 and then just run the table.
Yep. Yeah, I mean between Australian Survivor and the season of Big Brother, like crazy.
Both 8-3, both at this point in the season, both in that show and this one, 8 women and 3 men left in the game. Crazy. It's the year of the women on reality TV.
It really is. Yeah, the year of the Black Widow. So I mean that's very exciting. I think we're really enjoying both shows, so maybe that says something too.
Yeah.
Like this is where we were very much complaining about Jag and Matt winning all the competitions in that season. Now we're like, yeah, this is fun. This is good TV.
Yeah, I mean, like looking at last season and this season, it's just so much more interesting when you can't predict who's going to win any given comp, right? Like coming into tonight, like the reason that I was just like ready to come on here and talk about Mickey's game and Mickey being evicted was because like Mickey has demonstrated herself to be bad in comps. But like then we get this blockbuster, which is kind of crapshooty and like basically anybody can win it, and she did, and like that's exciting because it led to this outcome, right? Like there's the very demonstrable proof that having competitions where a wider variety of people can win them is more interesting, both from a perspective of it makes the outcomes of the comps less predictable, and it means that the game is more fluid and like people have to play with that in mind, that anybody could win at any given time.
Yeah, whenever I'm like referencing we need like more crapshooty comps, this is actually the comp that's in my head. Like this or the one in BB13 where it's like you can control it and you're trying to like dump it into a certain number. Like this is the comp that is like anybody can win this. It just is fun. So I'm glad that we got this tonight and we're able to have this conversation that Riley got evicted.
I know when this comp got revealed, because what they've been doing is they've been revealing the blockbuster on Julie's Instagram, earlier in the day on the Thursday. A lot of people were like upset. They were like, "Oh no, the one time where a crapshoot might be bad," because everyone was like, "This is a comp Mickey can actually win." And at the time, people thought that meant Morgan was going to get evicted, which was like worst case scenario for the week because it would have basically doomed the Rachel side completely. Right. But like it turns out, like it ended up being good that Mickey could win this comp. So,
I mean, it is really interesting because I mean, when we were talking to Cam a few weeks ago now about like winning comps this season is so much more important because there's so much more of them, and just having like a comp beast. Like none of these competitions really require like you to be a big strong dude or just strong in general. Like maybe one, but like overall it's like it's all crapshooty. Like the only one that's kind of like what you should be a little athletic is I guess Otev, maybe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Last week's blockbuster, I think, definitely
the
helped
wall.
that Keanu was so in shape and like able to like once he figured out the pattern, able to move those pieces as quickly as he did. But yeah,
But again, that doesn't. You don't need to be like this big buff strong guy to do that. You just need to be kind of in shape.
Yeah.
right.
But the wall comp's the first like truly physical comp this season, I believe. Maybe there was
The
another.
balance beam kind of, but yeah.
Yeah.
But that comp
Yeah.
ended up mattering.
Keanu did smoke that first round
True.
of it. That was crazy.
Keanu's just like in really good shape, and he's also just really big. Like
Yeah.
It's impressive that he's able to like have that much agility as like somebody who's that like big.
Yeah. He must have been like a football player, right? Like
like
he
you
used
probably
to have like insane body control at that size.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to think what position he probably would play. Like
Defensive end, maybe.
Yeah, defensive end. Yeah, because I was like trying to think like
athletic and huge.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, I've been really enjoying him in the comps at least, and from the perspective of he just can't get this right at all.
Yeah, and I mean, look, if somebody from the judges' side wins this HOH, and Keanu wins the veto and or the blockbuster, and Kelly goes, what another brilliant result! Because I am like this week has. Like Kelly has been quiet on the feeds for the last couple of weeks, but like this week really reminded me why I went on a huge rant about how much I hate Kelly. Like 1 or 2 weeks into the season, because like she is insufferable.
Oh man! All right. Well, anything else for this one?
No, I'm excited for the feeds to come back on. They still have not come back on.
Me too. Can't wait for that. Chad, anything you want to promote? Anything you want to tell people to go follow you on? Floor is yours.
Hey, follow me on Twitter, X, Instagram, whatever, right here. And yeah, I post sometimes.
And Ben, same thing.
Yeah, you can follow me at Ben Sharon. I'm on Blue Sky. I have been posting more. I did post a lot tonight, and I've been posting about the feeds as I've been watching them the last few days here and there. So I've been trying. I've been like trying to post more, but I've really gotten to a point where I just hate social media so much. But like I've been trying to do it. I've been trying to engage. So
yeah, and if somehow you're not tired of listening to Ben and I talk after tonight, we did a whole episode yesterday on Australian Survivor, which was really good, super fun there. So yeah, on the Better Radio channel, you can check that out as all of our podcasts. If you're watching on the Have Not Room channel, go check that out there. If you're watching on Better Radio, go check out the Have Not Room channel. We have like clips and sometimes during the week I'll make videos, and we're on TikTok, the Have Not Room, and main channels Wicked and Everything. Did a video this week on there, and the Wicked Scary channel did another video this week on there. So lots of videos, something for everyone. Go check it out, and we will see you in the next one.